Leo's insights are presented to challenge, inform, and encourage you in your quest to break free from school-based approaches to education. Building upon a foundation of unschooling, we sincerely hope these insights help you to consider how education can be truly unlimited.
I must admit that there are certain news agencies that I've learned to completely distrust. Actually, there's one particular agency that is so bad at telling the truth that I often use it to get a truthful perception respecting an issue that I'm not sure about by noting what is being reported and then assuming the opposite to actually be true. Maybe a sad testimony respecting that news agency, but this approach has kept me from believing nonsense. Take the normalization of the response to the COVID-19 school system closures as an example. Media outlets simply assumed that everything would be exactly the same as it always was, except that the students would now be homeschooled. Teachers would continue to direct their students in a virtual classroom and everything would continue as before. Except now, it didn't matter who learned what, as everyone would move on to the next level in the coming year. Apparently, there is no longer a need to learn a particular concept before moving on to another. Like the world around us, it looks like the school system has become rather disconnected also. Journalists who obviously had little, if any, experience with home based learning found themselves perplexed by something they had likely never considered. Perhaps they should have thought about how inmates behave within the confines of penitentiaries in comparison to when they were out of it. Then they would have had something with which to compare the new phenomenon that emerged as a consequence of the liberation of students from the school institution. Not only did many students balk at having teachers tell them what they had to do at home, but many parents experienced a high level of stress in having to enforce the school authority within their home as well. The media could not understand how come school does not work at home. Maybe it is because home does not work well at school either. Whoever heard of a family consisting of a single parent or multiple parents in an ever changing unit of many children, all the same age? God in his wisdom simply did not create families this way, perhaps with the knowledge that all 24 of the children would reach puberty at the same time. In any case, it was discovered that the children, now paroled from a caustic environment of age appropriate groupings, subjected to all doing the same thing at the same time, could actually learn what interested them using a number of helps besides the overbearing lordship of a teacher who, in turn, did not have any say on what was to be learned. Can you imagine how perplexed reporters were when they discovered that many, admittedly not all, students simply did not fit the school's uni approach to learning? Sure, some students missed their friends, but they sure did not miss being incarcerated in a school environment and being restricted from learning what interested them. Furthermore, many delighted in having mom and or dad with them all day, every day. Media generally reported that 1 hour of schoolwork per day was sufficient without making even the slightest attempt to explain what was being achieved during the other 5 hours of an average school day. No journalist had the courage, or perhaps the intelligence, to declare that if only 17% of a school day was sufficient, what about the remaining 83%? As soon as the children were freed from school, they were given the opportunity to simply relax in their own skins in the comfort of their homes under the guidance of those who love them most and who will have to live with the very children they influence. The media had a hard time with this. So most simply continued to do what they do best and lied about how many parents came to realize just how much of a waste of time school is. Another discovery was that the best way to reduce frustration was to stop the frustrating activity. Parents learned that when they stopped playing school, students were less frustrated, happier, and more than willing to learn what interested them. Welcome to home education. It's not the same as schooling at home. The difference is a matter of who is in control. Some children instinctively know the difference. However, we must consider that those who don't may qualify to work for the mainstream media and continue to advance school and schooling as the best way to learn.
We trust you were blessed by today's presentation. For more helpful information to guide you in your home education journey, please visit educationunlimited.ca and leogaumont.com. Be sure to like us and share us on Facebook.